Hi everyone, Liane here. I hope you're doing well. Why don't we go ahead and get started with my top 5 favorite fountain pens for 2024. So I have 6 dots here. So I do have a top 5 and then I have an honorable mention. So stay tuned for that. Also, I just wanted to say that this beautiful jewelry is from Baleen. It's a Seattle-based shop that I have loved for almost 10 years now, and I'm just really happy to offer a 20% discount for viewers who are first-time customers. I'm happy to highlight them. I'm happy to broadcast Baleen because I love who they are, their team, the shop. Check out their website. 20% off if you use my code Liane Likes. So let's get to my pens. Let's see, pen number 1. Why don't we do my most affordable pen? This pen came in a set of 3. It's on Amazon, 3 for $19.99. So I also got the converter as well. So if you were to break down just the one pen will be about $6 plus like a $7 converter. So this is hovers just below $15 for this pen. It's a snap cap, super easy. The reason why I love this is because it is so portable. I don't worry about this pen at all. It doesn't go into a pen pouch. It goes straight into my purse. I carry this with my Traveler's Company notebook. This is my passport size, and I have my planner in here, and it's much smaller, you see, so I need an extra fine nib. This originally comes with a fine nib, but I did replace it with an extra fine nib that I had on another Platinum Preppy, and they're very easily interchangeable. So these two, they go together everywhere, and I just love how reliable a writer they are. I keep these inked, and there are times when I will just for weeks not use them, and they work right out of the gate. And I think it's because of the snap cap. So this is my cheapest pen, probably one of my favorites because of its price point. It's cheap, it's reliable, and it's got a little bit of a smaller nib. And I have found that especially now that I'm entering into an extra fine and fine nib era, that I do prefer smaller nibs. It allows me to write with a more upright hand grip, which is my natural hand grip. So anyway, a real great favorite of mine. So why don't I do a writing sample here? This is in no particular order. This is the Platinum Preppy Perpanep. This is in the 02 extra fine nib size, or not nib size, line width. Let's see, it's also stainless steel. The ink that I have it inked in is the Pelikan Brilliant Brown, which has really become one of my favorite inks. I love that in a finer nib, it comes out a little bit more orange, and then in broader nibs, it comes out a lot darker. And I actually have this inked in another one of my favorite pens, so you'll get to see the variation in the color. Really one of my favorites. Why don't I do this one? This is a vintage pen, and this is a pen that you haven't seen. I don't have it featured. I really don't think I've ever really featured this pen, but I wanted to highlight at least one of my favorites. This is my favorite from my vintage pen collection. I have a small vintage pen collection. 4 of them I got. Does it show up? Yeah, it shows up on screen a little bit. 4 of them I got from my neighbor Tina, and I've gotten them refurbished, and they're in perfect working order. This one I bought on eBay. I was inspired by Karina from Karina Loves to Plan, and I really do like this whole striated green look. This is a pen that I got on the virtual pen show about a year ago, and it came all the way from Europe. Beautiful. It's a lever fill, gold accents. I love the finial design. It's just so sleek and beautiful. It's a 14 karat gold nib, and it almost writes like a soft flex journaler nib. So it's cross strokes its downstrokes are a little bit wider than the cross strokes, but let me write it out here for you. This is my favorite. Aesthetically, it's gorgeous. I love this sort of like earthy green color. The writing experience is very nice. The fact that it's a vintage pen, it's broken in. There's a soft bounce to it, and it offers beautiful shading, especially with the ink that I have it paired with. I actually have it paired with Pelikan's Brilliant Brown. So let me write that out for you. This is a Conway Stewart. I think I didn't even mention, I think this is the first time I'm mentioning the name of this pen. It's a Conway Stewart, and I think it is a number 58. And if any of you vintage pen aficionados, if you know any more about this pen, please let me know. This is a 14 karat gold nib. It says it's an FN nib, and I think that has more to do with the nib size than the actual point itself. So please let me know if you happen to know, but it feels like it writes almost like a stub, but I'm not quite sure. So I'll say it's like a fine to medium, and it has a nice soft flex to it. This ink is also the Pelikan Brilliant Brown, and do you see how much darker it gets in a wetter and broader nib? Oh my goodness, so gorgeous. It's very soft. So this is my favorite vintage pen, the Conway Stewart number 58. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, I also have the original box that it came in. It was given to a man by the name of Frank in celebration of his retirement back in 1959. Coincidentally, in the same month, May of 1959. So this is beautiful. Let's do my Traveler's Company pen. This is in Factory Green. It's a brass snap cap. Also the cap, when you cap it, becomes part of the pen body. The reason why this is my favorite, or one in my top 5, is because it's so comfortable to write with. I assumed that I wouldn't do well with it because it has such a narrow grip section, but somehow writing with this pen, it feels like home to me. This is also a very sturdy pen. This is what I would really consider an EDC, an everyday carry. So I would carry this around. This is always in one of my purses. In fact, sometimes I won't know where it is because I'm always changing purses or bags, backpacks. And I always carry this with me. So it'll be in one of my bags or it'll be in a backpack, and I'll always look for it because I have it with me all the time. I always have it in my bag. I don't carry it in a pen pouch either. And in fact, you know, I don't want it in a pen pouch. I want to keep accessing this every day so that it develops a nice patina. But really, I really love it. I've tried like the Kaweco brass pen or even the Kaweco bronze pens because I thought I might like it because I like this brass pen so much. I've tried them, I've written with them, and I don't quite like the experience as much as I do with this. So also it's a really wet writer. The nib size, and I'm finding that there is a bit of a pattern here. I've really liked smaller nibs. So this is a fine point, a fine nib, steel. It's a Schmidt. Also, I have this inked. So let's see, it's a Faber-Castell Hazelnut Brown. So this is Traveler's Company. Brass. And I'm telling you, it just feels like home when I write with this. In fact, I might even grip it a little bit higher. It's interesting. This is inked with Faber-Castell Hazelnut Brown. Oh, it's so rich and saturated. Okay. Okay. So satisfying. All right, now we have the Esterbrook Estie. This is in Garden or Botanical Garden. It's a screw cap, and it's also a stainless steel nib. It's a medium, but this is ground to a journaler nib. And the reason why this is in my top 5 is because this is the perfect pen for shimmer inks. Before this past month, when I had this inked it's currently in my currently inked for the month of May. And prior to that, I'd never inked this pen with a shimmer ink. I had tried hopelessly in TWSBIs, like the stubs and the broad nibs, and they would clog all the time. So then I thought, I almost had sworn off shimmers because I thought there isn't a pen that I like to write it with. And granted, I've only tried TWSBIs, but when I inked Wearingeul Othello in this pen, I realized that this is an indispensable pen. I am forever going to put all of my shimmers into this pen. So let's see, this is the Esterbrook Estie. I write with confidence with this pen because I know that it has always been so reliable, especially this past month with shimmer inks. Let's see, it's in the journaler nib. This is also a steel nib. This is steel. The Conway Stewart is the only gold pen so far, gold nib pen. This is inked with Wearingeul Othello, one of my favorite shimmer inks. Like, look at the shading. And then it releases a beautiful, subtle silver shimmer as the ink dries. Here we go. A top 5 favorite. So we shall see a year from now, but for now, this is really a real favorite, a top 5 favorite. Okay, so that's 4. Number 5, of course, saving the best for last. This is my Harry Potter pen. I say it's my Harry Potter pen because the pen I feel like chose me. And I don't know if I've announced this, but when I showcase this video, or when I showcase this pen in an earlier video, people were helping me come up with names. And so the name of this pen, it's the only pen that I've named in my collection. That's how much I love this pen. But the name that I've given this pen is Juliet Grace. We had a viewer recommend Grace, and then Juliet is a name that was like in my top 2 when I was considering baby names. We didn't go for Juliet. We have named my daughter a different name, but this is Juliet Grace. Juliet Grace. This pen is inked with L'Homme de Cassis. L'Homme de Cassis. I went on to Google Translate and really tried hard to make sure that I pronounced it the right way. This is a Sailor Pro Gear. The name is Every Rose Has Its Thorn, but I will write Juliet Grace. It's the first time that I'm writing the name down here. This is in a hard medium fine, and this is a 21 karat gold nib. This is inked in J. Herbin, L'Homme de Cassis. And can you hear the feedback? It is a wet writer. Okay. I got this pen pre-loved at Oblation Papers in Portland, Oregon. And I still remember the name of the person who helped me with this pen. Their name was Lisa. There we go. And then last but not least, I have an honorable mention, and it's going to be my TWSBI Eco White and Rose Gold. This is in an extra fine nib, screw cap. What I love about this pen is that this pen has never failed me. Any ink that I had put any ink that I have put into this pen, I've always enjoyed the writing experience. Some pens, for example, I have like a TWSBI Diamond Mini. It works well with certain inks, and then in others, I don't really prefer it. But this pen, whenever I have it inked with any ink that I've paired it with, I have loved the experience. So this is the TWSBI Eco White and Rose Gold, and it is in an EF nib. It's a stainless steel nib as well. And I have this inked with one of my favorite inks of all time, Wearingeul Kyeong-Hee. Spoiler alert, this is going to be in my top 5 favorite fountain pen inks. Actually, while we're on that subject, I'm curious to know, can you guess what my top 5 favorite inks might be? But I wonder what your guesses will be. So leave them in the comments below. But this is the honorable mention, the TWSBI Eco White and Rose Gold. This is one of the original pens in my collection, and I love it so much. So if I look at this here, this is my top 5 fountain pens for 2024. The Platinum Preppy Perpanep, the Conway Stewart No. 58. These are both in Pelican Brilliant Brown, and you can see the color changes there. The Traveler's Company Brass Pen in Factory Green, the Esterbrook Estie in Botanical Garden, my Sailor Pro Gear, it's Every Rose Has Its Thorn, and then the TWSBI Eco White and Rose Gold. So please let me know if any of these pens are your favorites, or feel free to share with me what your favorite pens are if you were to create a top 5 favorite list. Also, please start guessing. What inks do you think are going to be in my top 5? And I will give you a shout out in my next video. And when that video comes out, I will link it in the video here as well. So thank you so much for watching. Happy anniversary, happy birthday to Liane Likes. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.